Wooden boats are not just vessels. They are works of art. They require more care, maintenance than modern fiberglass or aluminum boats. But they reward you with a unique and satisfying experience. Wooden boats have a soul, a personality, a story.
This boat is called the Carrie T, after my grandmother. When my father passed away, we inherited a little money, and I wanted to put it into something that every time I used it, I would think of him. And I could have used it to pay off, part of my mortgage or something else, but I've always loved wooden boats, and so when this boat was for sale, that's what I did. I put the money that he gave me into this boat, and so we just kind of think of him every time we use it.
1957, 22-foot Chris Craft. It's got its original 6-cylinder engine. It's never been painted or touched or rebuilt. The boat's never been painted, varnished, touched, or rebuilt. It's completely original. It came from Lake George in New York.
This is my homemade built boat. It's my own custom craft. I've built it over the years between 2011 and finished it in 2015. I've been in your boat show for 7 years. It's a 20-foot long 1939 replica of a barrel-back boat, and very happy that you included me in your boat show. Thank you.
This is the Janet E. It is a 22-foot Shepherd, just recently been restored by Ryan Peterson. What can I tell you? My dad was the second owner of the boat. He sold it about 20 years ago, and we purchased it back in January of 21 and had it fully restored.
This is Rum Runner, my cherished boat on Lake of the Woods. We keep it in our summer cottage, which is close to Clearwater Bay. And I managed to buy this boat way back in 1969. I saw an advertisement for it. It was somebody in Corkscrew Island who had it, and I was really enthusiastic about it. I wanted my dad to buy it. No, he didn't want to buy it. Well, can you lend me the money to buy it? Okay. So he did, and it's been my boat ever since. I look after it, pay for all the bills. We paid it for the original owner. So I've owned it for more than 50 years now. This boat is 100 years old. Most boats of this age have had a total restoration where all of the woodwork has been replaced and the hardware has been polished up and so forth. There has been some replacement in this boat. The deck was restored and replaced about in the 1960s, but the sides are still original, the framing is still original. So I'm proud of that too, and it's really a pleasure to drive this boat around the Lake of the Woods.
There is something magical about wooden boats, the way they blend with nature, the way they reflect the craftsmanship and history of their builders, and most of all, the way the boats bring out the passion in their owners. As you can see, many of these enthusiasts have a deep affection for wooden boats, but there is one person whose passion is even deeper. That person is Joanne Hill. Joanne Hill is a passionate wooden boat enthusiast who has been organizing the annual wooden boat show for the past 30 years. However, this year will be her final year as the organizer of this event. The boat show is held at the Harbourfront in Kenora, Ontario on beautiful Lake of the Woods during Harbourfest. Joanne has an impressive knowledge of the boats and their owners and can share the stories behind each of them. In fact, this boat I'm sitting in right now has a fascinating story behind it. The boat's name is Jack the Bear. It came from a boathouse on Coney Island to a boat restoration yard in Winnipeg to my father-in-law Paul's shop in Blumenort. Paul and Cheryl Bestfather have been the owners of Jack the Bear for 15 years. They acquired Jack from their friend Joanne Hill, who used to own Two Bears Marina in Keewatin with her husband John. Paul and Cheryl spent a lot of time and effort rebuilding Jack from bow to stern, engine, and everything in between. Joanne was initially shocked and in disbelief by the transformation of the boat she had a history with. After a short time of composing herself, she once again fell in love with Jack. Now, every time we see her, she asks, "Where's Jack? Is Jack ready yet?" Every wooden boat has a story that could fill a novel. This is just a small part of the whole story on Jack the Bear. Now, some of you might think that it's just a boat, but try telling a car enthusiast that a 69 Camaro is just a car. These classics take a lot of hard work, passion, and craftsmanship to maintain and restore, whether they're old cars or old wooden boats. The best way to appreciate wooden boats is to go for a ride in one. You will feel the difference as soon as you step on board. You will hear the creaking of the mahogany planks, the splashing of the water, the rumble of the engine. You will smell the wood, varnishes. You will see the graceful curves, the intricate details, the warm colors. You will touch the smooth, charismatic surfaces, the solid structure that is a wooden boat. Therefore, I strongly encourage you to visit the annual Wooden Boat Show during Kenora's Harbor Fest and see for yourself what Joanne has accomplished tirelessly for the last 30 years. It's truly amazing. And Joanne, from everybody here on Cameron Island, home of Jack the Bear, and every boat owner who's joined you on this journey, we say, thanks, Joanne!
Thank you, Joanne. It's always hard to see something come to an end, whether it's your work where you go to retirement or your retirement you go to more retirement. But I don't know that there's anybody left in this town that's got the persistence to do what she did. We're privileged to participate in all these years.
Please don't bail, because this sport is bigger than politics. It's bigger than people. It's more like legacy and more like anything we can do to stay intact the original spirit of the lake and the way it was in the beginning. The wooden boats seem to send that right message, and I think everybody gets it. It's far more powerful than you might think. But either way, the point is appreciate your efforts, man. And I guess pass the baton. If we make it easy enough, we'll keep it up. Appreciate your time and your help over the years.
Hello, Joanne, and thank you very much for organizing this whole boat parade thing. It's been a wonderful experience of a few years.
Thank you, Joanne. I am honored that you asked me to lead the parade this year, and thank you for doing this all these years. This was my dad's favorite event, Harbor Fest of the summer of the year, so I'm honored that I was able to lead it this year.
Joanne, we are so grateful that you are taking the time to organize these annual boat parades, and we hope that we can find someone else to take over your job, because I need to see the boat parade disappear.
Just would like to say thank you to everybody that supported me for this last 30 years, and I hope they've enjoyed the history of boating on Lake of the Woods, and hopefully I'll put another parade on next year for somebody.